Welcome. This is Chip Roasting.
I'm Wally.
I am somebody. I'm Brennan. I'm not Brennan. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. We're roasting some chips.
On this computer.
What is up?
Hello.
Chip Roasters? Are we still calling our fan base that? Is it
It's just
still
Matt. It's
the Chip Roasters?
it's
Well,
just
yeah,
Matt.
but I'm saying, what's Matt's nickname? We gotta give
Yeah, I
our
guess we can call him
boy
the Chip Roaster.
Matt a
I
nickname
guess.
here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think we
okay.
can go with the Chip Roaster.
All right.
Um.
So anyone in our fan base is known as a chip roaster here. Hi,
Yep.
Matt.
Yep. Hey,
Um,
Matt.
so
I know last time we said we were going to get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Clearly, we did not. it's a
yeah,
it's a month later.
yeah, like insert that meme clip, like, so that was a lie or whatever. I don't know if that is anything, but I'm assuming that that is just pretend that was inserted right after there, like all those
Yeah.
big podcast channels that like to insert all of those other clips and then their stuff. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know how that works, but
most big podcast channels are at least consistent. I guess we're
yeah,
consistently inconsistent, if anything.
and that's what you can count on.
We have a lot of news because we've not done a podcast in some time, and not only that, but we haven't done a podcast that covered the news in some time.
That is very true.
So we've missed a lot. We're not going to go over all of it. I think it was like it's been some time. Like I think we've had like I think we've had maybe 10 podcasts all year. I would have to go back and look, but that seems about right. It's not been a great year for chip roasting, but we're here. We're
Busy
back.
year.
Boy, yeah, it's been so freaking busy.
Hmm.
Um. Anyway, so we're gonna do news. We're gonna talk about the Ahsoka show. We're not gonna talk about Secret Invasion because I haven't watched it yet.
Do you want to explain why you haven't
Because I
watched it here?
don't care about Marvel anymore.
Bam.
to be
The
to be
the
fair,
nail in the coffin.
I mean, we've beaten this horse to death. I mean, it was probably dead the first time we beat it. Now we're still beating it. Now it's just skull and bones.
Yeah, and
Just
we're kind of tired of beating it at this point.
my
Just
arm is tired. The bat is heavy.
yeah, the horse isn't gonna change. It's gonna stay a dead horse. If all of a sudden he starts walking around again, then I might say, "Whoa, let's talk about how cool this horse is." But right now, it's just big old dead horse.
Yeah,
Not alive.
Marvel just ain't doing it anymore.
No.
There's too much.
Just
I don't
with
care
their
enough.
shows specifically, like the movies
Yeah,
also aren't that great,
no.
but they're rarer than the shows. So the movies you can kind
Yeah,
of be like, okay, but the shows, like, there's way too many of them here. It's like homework, and they're not good anymore. They're just churned out to make money. I
you.
don't know how they would make money necessarily here, but they definitely aren't, I don't think.
So you say that, but there's been one Marvel show this year.
Yeah, I know it's really bad. Yeah, that is true. And looking back, it's like we only had one, but I just feel like everybody's been so burnt out from all the previous Marvel shows and
Yeah,
all
we
of
had a
the
ton in
updates we
2022.
keep getting. Like, they keep talking about all the other Marvel shows, and I
What?
feel exhausted knowing what's coming, even though all of it is like indefinitely postponed, is what it sounds like.
Yes, yes. I made the joke in our. You know what? I'll let that joke naturally happen. So I'm not gonna bring it up.
Ah, okay,
But
okay.
yeah, it's just. I guess it's just that we've been promised so much, and then like, here's one show this year.
I want shows to be good.
Well, yeah, there's that, and then also I just want more of them.
I'm just so tired.
Well, 2023 anyway has been the year of Star Wars,
Yeah, and
and
so
at least that's
far,
been mostly pretty good.
I mean, I would say so far Star Wars has been doing fantastic this year, but like all I'm talking about when I say that is Ahsoka. Because, not to spoil my thoughts, but I
Well,
have
Bad
been
Batch was good.
loving Ahsoka so far. I forgot about Bad Batch. Bad Batch was also good. Yes.
Obi-Wan was this year, right?
Obi-Wan was this year.
I thought so. Like early this year. Was it not?
Was
Did
it?
it not bleed in from last year?
I don't think so.
Or was that Book of Boba? No, Book of Boba Fett was over here. Holy shit, that was a
Ugh.
long time ago. Hold on. We have to go
Yep.
back. We have to check.
Also,
Oh my
we have a
god, there's Ahsoka.
podcast. Yes, yes. This is for all you YouTube followers. Okay, sit up there. There we go. This is my cat. Her name is Ahsoka. Believe it or not, we did not name her. She came with this name. We
Wait,
said
seriously?
absolutely. Yeah.
You didn't name her?
No.
That's hilarious.
This is Ahsoka. Yeah, her old owner apparently loved Star Wars. Her brothers' names were uh Luke, Chewie, and Kenobi. And we got Ahsoka and she's the best, so she will be kind of hanging out in the background here for
Oh my
this
god. Obi-Wan
episode
Kenobi
because
was last year.
she likes spending time in my office.
Obi-Wan Kenobi was over a year ago.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought because I was like, I I think it
So has it
was
just been Bad Batch and
May
Star
of
Wars? Or
2020.
start Bad Batch and Ahsoka?
Was it also
And Mando
Mandalorian
3.
season 3? I did not
Which
like
I had,
Mando.
remember last episode, I'd completely forgotten that existed.
Yeah,
Or was that a conversation we had?
I think this is a conversation that we had.
Oh, man, we don't do this podcast very much, do we?
Yeah, no.
But
But yeah, I've been loving Ahsoka so far. It's been blowing everything else out of the water for me. It takes me back to how I felt during Mando's season 1, but I haven't really felt recently with live action Star Wars stuff. However, that being said, we will table that for right now to churn through some news.
yes, some news, and we're gonna backdate this news for quite a bit. We're going all the way back to July because
Yeah,
that's where I feel like it's probably worth talking about. Um, just to note, the writers are still on strike. They
Yeah.
have been for some time now, and I believe the actors are also on strike. I don't know. So
yes, yeah, the
anything
writers
we
and
talk about,
actors are
yeah.
both on strike.
So anything we talk about right now, probably not going to happen for some time.
Yeah, which is, in my opinion, at least, how it should be until the studios calm down, especially because most of the problems we've been talking about with Marvel and other shows, it's kind of the studios who are at fault for a lot of it. And the actors and writers are kind of struggling to survive in this changing landscape. So hopefully, as time goes on, the studios can chill out. The writers and actors can get a fair deal that treats them well. But until then, we're gonna have to kind of remain in this limbo-esque period.
Yeah, we'll have stuff that's finished coming out, but who knows for
Or
the next couple years?
maybe not even, because some of the shows that have been finished and been finished for a while are still getting pushed back as well. Like Echo, which was it's been fully done for a while. Yeah, it was all supposed to release like all 6 episodes out on the same day, November 29th, I believe.
Why were they going to do that? I don't like
And that. I don't know why either. I was kind of excited to just have a show out that I could just binge all in one day and not have to like
Yeah, that's fair.
parse it out because I do like having to wait like to see shows kind of occurring on like a weekly basis. That, honestly, I do kind of like that a lot here. But with just short 6-episode shows, kind of at that point, it's like just give me all of it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But yeah, so it's like that show's been done. It was supposed to be released in November. Now it was either delayed until 2024 or delayed indefinitely, and I don't remember which.
I guess we can hop to that. That's the most recent news that we have in here. But
okay.
Loki season 2 is October 6th. What If season 2 is Christmas. Echo is January 2024.
Oh, okay.
X-Men so 97 is early 2024, which I didn't think was going to keep happening, but apparently it is. Agatha is going to be late 2024. Ironheart, Wonder Man, and Daredevil Born Again are delayed indefinitely, it seems.
Just crazy.
Which is a joke. Which is the joke I made. I said Daredevil delayed again.
Yeah.
Which was going to be the name of our episode.
That was it.
So
I was actually at GalaxyCon
That's right.
when was this? The end of July, and I actually got to see Vincent D'Onofrio in person,
Oh wow, is he
and
massive?
that was crazy. No, I mean like he's actually more of like a regular size guy
Really?
than Kingpin would kind of lead you to believe.
It's they got some
Um,
good camera angle work over there at Netflix.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. It was cool hearing him speak because like we actually had a lot of similarities that I was not expecting. Just like talking about like because like he couldn't talk about any of his projects, so he was kind of like, what questions do we talk about? And I just talked
You
about his life.
you fight blind people?
Oh yeah, all the time. Favorite pastime, actually, just going around looking for a CNI dog. Uh,
I
no,
just
but he was.
hold on that topic. I heard a joke
Okay.
earlier. It says, "Why don't blind people go skydiving?"
Why?
It scares the crap out of their seeing eye dogs.
Oh my God. Oh, but yeah, he was talking about like how like the car he would always drive around was like a super old kind of Toyota, I think maybe, or maybe I'm just. It was like a blue car at least. Like I drive around like a super old blue
Blue
Toyota.
car, yeah.
It's like awesome. Love that car to death. It's like, oh yeah, I used to drive around the same. But the biggest similarity, that's like a small one. There were some other ones, some other smaller ones too. But like he was a magician in his
Oh
hometown
wow.
and just straight up did like magic tricks for like everyone there. And I was like,
Hey,
holy cow,
you do
that's
that.
me. Yeah.
That's
That was
awesome.
literally me. And I was like, that is so dope. And it was really cool to hear that kind of uh like like to get him to know to get to know him more as a person and not just like as Kingpin, the only thing that I knew him as.
You've never seen Men in Black?
Once when I was like very young.
He's the cockroach.
Nice.
Yeah.
That I do not remember anything about
Oh, okay.
Men in Black like at all, except for
Yeah.
like how it started off. Like all the
Yeah, that's
non-alien
him at the
stuff,
beginning.
I kind of remember. What?
That's him at the
Oh,
beginning. He's digging the hole and then the meteor crashes and he becomes the cockroach.
oh, I don't remember that at
Oh,
all.
okay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine.
Uh,
I'm just saying that's
yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, okay. Sweet. But yeah, him was. I will just talk about this for like a minute here because there were just two
Yeah.
other cool things. Also got to see uh Karen Gillian in
Oh, awesome.
person, who played Nebula on
She's great.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume
I,
3.
I follow her on TikTok. She's like a wonderful
Yeah,
person.
she was fantastic to see too. Also, I don't know if you saw any clips from this, but there was some stuff that went viral from Stephen Amell made some comments at Galaxy Con
Mhm.
that went viral about him kind of not necessarily him being like against the strike, but kind of him being like against the strike. And like they went viral. It blew up like everywhere. All of the clips, different angles of him saying a bunch of stuff they said. I was there. I was in that panel. I was in that room.
Oh wow.
And I was like, that was kind of dope. It's so funny. I always thought that like when he played Oliver Queen on Arrow, he was doing like a voice for the role. That's just how he talks. That's
Oh
straight
really?
up. He sounds exactly like that in real life, which was crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was cool to see a panel with him. It was cool to be there for what turned out to be a very viral moment. I like heard the comments and I was like, this is not gonna age at all because like he was like, oh, don't tell me, but everyone was recording him like the entire time, but he was like,
Yeah.
no one post anything, and then everybody immediately posted everything. Um, but
Naturally.
yeah, and then I also got to actually meet like not just see, but like meet in person and talk to Joel McHale from Community,
Hey, that's
and that was
awesome.
incredible. I have a signed photo from him. It
That's so
is
cool.
phenomenal. I love that.
Dude, that's awesome.
Joel McHale to talk about like a huge guy. He is
I
so
was gonna say he's
tall
he's really
and
tall, yeah.
so like like muscular now in a way he was not during
Oh really?
Community. Yeah,
That's funny.
just I was like this was awesome. This was awesome. And then and also there I saw her in passing, but didn't like get to like interact with her at all. I wasn't able to attend a panel with her, but I saw Hang Now Man
Oh,
from
that's
Agents of
awesome. Yeah,
Shield,
yeah, yeah.
and also who played Fennec Shan.
Fennec Shen, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, that was
Dude,
cool.
I can't
So
you
some cool
met
stuff.
someone from Community. That's see, like the other
Yeah,
people who been like Joel Mc that dude.
yeah, right, right. I was stoked about that. I was stoked,
6 seasons and a movie.
and we are getting the like
The
the
movie,
movie
yeah.
now, and now I have something where I can watch the movie and can like clutch the signed picture and be like, yes, I met this guy.
The one of my coworkers, he's a real big Community fan. And
Yeah,
when we got whiteboards put in our new office, in the bottom right left hand corner, he wrote hashtag in a movie.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
how
that's
they have it
awesome.
on the whiteboards in the background of every Community episode.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that's awesome.
Um, yeah,
Dude.
and I was supposed to meet Charlie Cox as well, but he had to cancel his
Uh,
appearance like 3 weeks before it happened, and I was like, dang. But one day I will meet him as well, and then all will be well.
did you get a picture of
All will be well in the
Joe
world.
McHale?
Yes.
Nice. Is that
Hmm.
what he signed? Did you have like a digital, not like a digital
No,
camera, but like a
no, he didn't. He signed a like like a photo of him from Community. There were
oh,
like
okay,
some prints he had available, and
gotcha.
he signed that. But like the print he signed, I don't know if you remember. It's the season 5 pilot where
Yeah, I know what you're
Jeff
talking
is
about.
like, yeah, he realized it's him in the chair holding like the glass of scotch, just looking the most like disheveled he's ever looked,
I remember
and it
that.
was
Yeah,
yeah. It was fantastic.
that's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Oh man,
Oh.
I wish I'd gone. Oh well,
Yeah.
I mean, there was a con here in Knoxville not that long ago.
Oh yeah.
Actually, what's oh my god, that's so funny. The guy, my coworker, who's a big Community fan, just texted me.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Oh.
God, what was it? I don't remember. Oh,
Mm.
the guy who plays he's in the Mandalorian. He's the big villain in season 1. Can't remember his name.
Oh yeah. He plays off
Moff Gideon. Yeah,
Gideon,
he was
but
here at this one.
I don't remember his. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was at the
Sweet.
Comic Con here in Knoxville. But
Sweet.
anyway, so Brennan's awesome experience aside,
Mm.
news. Let's talk about it.
Back to news.
Superman
Are we?
Legacy. They
Yeah.
announced the cast of that. David Corn Sweat. How do you say that?
I I I don't know. Yeah.
I've never heard of this person before.
Cornsweat looks about right to me here.
Rachel Brosnahan as Lois, or sorry, David Corn Sweat as Superman. Rachel
Hmm.
Brosnahan as Lois Lane.
Hmm.
Nathan Fillion as
Yeah. Right.
Guy Gardner.
Hmm.
Excuse me, Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl. Oh, Hawkgirl.
Yep.
Interesting. And Edie,
You were reading all of this for like the very first
very first
time.
time. I as you can tell that like you send me stuff and I don't look at it. I just want the notification to go.
You're just like mark this as read all already.
And Edie Gaffigi as Mr. Terrific or Edie. Supposed to hit
Yes.
theaters July 11th, 2025. I'm gonna press X to doubt.
I actually think like it might swing that.
Oh,
The funny thing about that is I don't know if it still is. That was around the same time that the Fantastic Four movie was supposed to release that we still don't know anything about.
they're still making that.
Yeah, right?
Why?
Yeah, you remember that movie was first announced and it was supposed to
Like
come out like
2019, it
yeah,
was
like
announced,
yeah, and it was supposed to come out I think like 2022.
something like that. And
Yeah.
here we are,
And we're at 2023 and
2023.
they still haven't cast
We
like
don't know
any of the
anything
like
about that movie.
anyone, yeah.
We vaguely know who's directing it.
I had to pick her up. I'm holding my cat right now. Because there was a box of Legos right next to my desk open, and she like hopped in and started like pawing all around it, making I don't know if you can pick up on the microphone. It was the loudest noise. Uh,
So
oops. Hey.
The way Brennan picked
Uh,
her up, her paws were just like out like this,
yeah.
like and out in front of
Uh,
her. That was so funny. That was
she's now
adorable.
she's now playing with my headphone cable. Oops.
The duality of cats.
Yes.
You can't just leave them, but you can't just hold them either.
Mm-mm. Not
But
at
anyway,
all.
that cast seems good. I guess I don't know. I don't know half of them. So
Like it looks really solid. I'm excited for the characters. You know,
yes.
I'm gonna put this lid on this bin of Legos. I don't know why that wasn't my first idea. Because I immediately let her down and she immediately just walked back over there and started like he was scooping up a character with her paw. One of the minifigs. But
Happy for
yeah,
Nathan Fillion. That's cool. I haven't seen his name in a while.
yeah, well, because it's funny because I think what was it? He already played someone in James Gunn's uh DC movies. It was
Uh,
in the Suicide Squad. It was in James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie. He played someone there.
gotcha, gotcha. And was Hawk
Um
Girl? Was she in? Not Shazam, the other one. Uh,
uh Black Adam. And
yes.
you're thinking of Hawk Man, who like
Is he the one that looks like
basically
Wolverine a little? Or is that
how
Hawk Girl?
so?
Oh, okay.
Well, like Hawkman and Hawkgirl are basically like
Same.
yeah, they're two different characters, but it's like what's a good example?
Batman and Batgirl.
Kind of.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
gotcha.
They basically they only exist, I think, together for the most part. Not like they're not always shown together, but they're
You don't have one
yeah,
without the other. Yeah.
yeah, like it's like the same backstory for each of them. I'm pretty sure.
Because one day they're just like, we have Hawkeye, we have Hawkman, but what if we had Hawk Girl?
Yeah, they're both conceptualized at the exact same time. I think
Oh,
they've always existed together. I'm not sure because
since ancient times.
like I know them best from DC's Legends of Tomorrow, but I don't know if that's completely accurate to their backstory or not. Because I've seen some other interpretations. Like I don't know what to say, but like all the interpretations I've seen, they've always like existed together at the exact same time, forever and always.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But yeah,
There
so
is. Yeah,
it
go
was
ahead.
pretty cool to see. I'm glad that we're getting more kind of niche kind of characters
Mm-hmm.
almost because like even though to comic book fans, a lot of comic book fans know who all these people are. They're not ones that you see in shows or in live action all that much. Now,
Yeah.
Hawkgirl we have in the CW Arrowverse, so and we have with Mr. Terrific as well. But like I, I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking out of like ignorance here, but for like the most part, you know, you have Superman, you have Green Lantern, those are huge names,
Yeah.
and Hawk Girl and Mister Terrific aren't anywhere close to that.
Well, I'd only vaguely heard of Hawk Girl, and I kind of only know what she looks like because she looks like Wolverine. Or like I think it's because they're both yellow and black or something like that. But I've never heard of Mr. Terrific. So I mean, you're right. Like these are just like people who don't pay attention to it, to like the shows or the comic books, um, or even some movies. They're not really anyone important. So
So it'll just be very interesting to see what James Gunn does with them and like the
mhm.
and like the in the I think it's just called the TCU now, but perhaps I'm mistaken with that. Maybe it is the DCEU still.
I have no idea. I don't know if they've come up with anything
I
official.
don't know, but yeah, like James Gunn always does a great job of taking kind of smaller, lesser known characters and making them huge. So,
Guardians of the Galaxy, you know.
yep. Mm-hmm.
Um, we're not usually we stay within a theme, like we'll just do Marvel news and DC news and Star Wars news. Well, I'm not doing that today. I'm just going through this list of things that Brennan sent me over the last 2 months. Um, Bob Iger says they're going to reduce spending and creation on new Marvel and Star Wars stuff. And from
Which,
stuff we'll talk about later and stuff we've kind of already talked about, we've seen that. Like it's obvious.
yeah,
They don't
well,
care.
yeah, it's kind of weird that like they said that like they're reducing the creation of like new content. Kind of insane with the amount of stuff that they've just
Yeah.
very recently here announced as like the plans for the steps ahead because they've announced so much stuff moving forward, like with Star Wars and Marvel both. It's like,
Star Wars less than Marvel, but still a lot. Yeah.
yeah, well, because I mean, Star Wars, I'm talking about like the whole handle the whole Mandalorian arc specifically, because they were like, oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna end in like
Oh
a
yeah.
movie. It's being called like the Heir to the Empire movie, and that's like they're like, oh, it's 7 years out, which means they got to put a lot more between now and then to
Right.
flesh out everything. So
Yeah.
we'll see
I don't
how it
know.
goes.
And I mean, the first thing I saw, or I said, and I sent this to you too, it's just Disney's in like this weird limbo right now. Um, there's a lot of rumors about Disney, and I guess we can get into that if we want to. But they're like
Yeah,
cutting funding to things that make them a shitload of money, like
and
Marvel, Star Wars, and the parks. Like the parks is like they're the parks is subsidizing everything that's failing at Disney, which is the studios and Disney Plus. Like the parks, they're guaranteed
mm,
moneymakers. Well, I saw a stat the other day. It was from someone who was protesting outside of the Disney headquarters or at the Disney park. I don't remember. They make like $3 million a day on park tickets alone. That's it, just park tickets,
that's
and that's
crazy.
at one park. They
At
have
one park?
they have six in the U.S. So I mean, we could take that multiply by six. It's $18 million a day. That is the only reason Disney Plus still exists, is because they're just taking money from that
Really?
and throwing it at Disney Plus. Now there's a
Oh,
rumor
wow.
out that Disney is going to be sold.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up here. And sorry if I keep leaning over because my
Now,
cat keeps
no, you're good.
playing with like anything
Random
else
things.
that I leave out. Like you have to keep opening stuff, tossing in the bin, and closing the bin again.
Um, so I'm gonna go from a purely parks perspective, even though this isn't like a movies and show podcast. I'm a big Disney Parks fan. I honestly I love the Star Wars, I love the Marvel. I honestly couldn't care less about the rest of it. Like, doesn't matter what movie they throw out. It could be the Pixar one. I don't care. I'll watch it maybe on Disney Plus, except the Haunted Mansion movie. But we can talk about that a little bit later. Um, if they sold the parks, obviously there'd be a lot of legal trouble. Like you can't just sell it to one company. So what they would have to do is they'd have to split up everything into different entities. And from a parks perspective, this is the
Oh.
best option because the parks would get to keep everything that they make, which means they don't have to
Oh.
subsidize the
Oh, that would
studio
be
anymore or
interesting.
Disney Plus. So it would just be it would be like a Cedar Fair or Universal Studios
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Six Flags, where it's all the money that it makes itself, it can feed right back into it. And I know they've had a lot of issues with paying their park uh, employees and stuff like that, but
Now,
and they've done a lot of budget cuts. They've actually cut a lot of jobs there because they're trying to save money so they can pay for the studio.
good.
But if all that went away, if the studio went away, they theoretically they could pay the people who work for them a lot more at the parks because the money would stay there.
Now, question with that.
Yeah.
If that is what happens, like if
I hope.
Disney says, "Hey, we're selling like the studios, but we're keeping the parks," then like the Star Wars attractions they have, the Marvel attractions, would they be able to keep
So I would
that?
imagine if so, I guess they'd be a couple different arms. They'd have like the merchandising arm would get sold off, the entertainment arm would get sold off. The theme parks would or like the themed entertainment would get sold off, which is the theme parks and the cruise line. But that would become its own entity. And they would have and whatever company I would imagine if when they sold the studio, whatever company they sell it to, they would have exclusive rights to all that content. Like it would still be under the Disney name, but so they'd
Interesting.
only have
Okay, okay.
exclusive rights to all the Disney content in terms of theme parks. Because that stuff gets a little dicey because when Marvel was sold, Universal they had to enter this agreement with Universal that they wouldn't open any rides at the Disney World parks in Florida that had to do with ones that were already open at the Universal parks. Which is why there's no X-Men,
Oh,
Spider-Man, Hulk, any of that at the Disney World parks, but you can do
that
Avengers
makes
Campus
sense.
at Disneyland because they don't have the Marvel super. It's because it's like the island of superheroes or whatever,
You
and
know,
they don't
I
have
was
that in
always
California.
I was always kind of curious about that because,
Yeah,
like,
it's a really weird deal they had to enter.
yeah, because like I know there are things different between Disneyland and Disney World, but
Mhm.
like, I'm closer to Disney World being on the eastern side of Canada. So that's the one that I will go down to, and it's always like, oh, but we don't have like the Marvel stuff here. And if I
Right.
wanted that, I have to go all the way up to California. Why Disney? And now that makes
Yeah, it's
total
because it's
sense.
it's because Universal has other. They have the things like the Marvel Island of Superheroes or something like that, where they have like a Spider-Man ride, they have a Hulk ride, they have Fantastic Four, X-Men, all that kind of stuff. So any of that, and that which is why Guardians can go in Disney World because they don't have anything that's Guardians at Universal,
Yeah,
so it's fine.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking that because obviously when Universal made all of their stuff, I'm assuming the Guardians weren't as
No,
big of a deal then, if at all.
right, right. Yeah, not to the general population. No.
Yeah, yeah, because Spider-Man, Hulk, X-Men, those are like the big ones that
Yep.
forever everyone's known about.
Yep. Yep. So that's why. But so yeah, they would have exclusive rights to all that stuff. So they wouldn't have to worry about like Six Flags getting a Winnie the Pooh ride or something like that. Like
Yeah.
um so
Even though I would be here for more Winnie the Pooh rides, the one at Disney World, that goes surprisingly hard.
it does. Um but yeah, so maybe even from a studio perspective, I haven't thought much about it because I don't well, like I said, it's like good movies, yay, hooray.
Yeah.
It might be better for the studios as well because or maybe they'd go broke. Maybe who knows?
Well,
I don't care.
it's so
I
shocking
mean,
for
I
me
do
because
for like
like
the workers and stuff.
I never imagined a company like Disney would be
Sold out.
considering selling themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like,
It's weird, but I want it to
yeah,
happen for purely for park reasons.
yeah. From what I've seen, and I don't know if you've seen this too, but what like a speculation that I saw is that some insiders seem to believe that Bob Iger is planning to stay CEO for as long as possible,
No.
and then at the end of his term was planning to sell off Disney. And
Actually, I'm good with that. I just hate Bob Iger.
yeah, oh yeah,
Not as much as I hated Bob Chapek. I hated Bob Chapek,
mm,
but Bob Iger bad. Really,
interesting,
anyone who's in charge of Disney named Bob
interesting.
bad. Yeah, Bob Iger, Bob Chapek. It's never good. It's never good when you get that in there.
Anyone named Bob being in charge of Star Wars is bad, and the longer their last name is, the worse they are.
There you go. Um,
Perfect.
Marvel. Some back to Marvel news. I guess that was kind of
Back
Marvel
to
news.
Marvel
Then we like
news.
went into different tangent, but
Yeah,
anime studio Polygon Pictures is producing a Spider-Man freshman year, which I guess is back on the table.
yeah. So
But it says it's supposed to be
with
the
that,
3D animation
yeah,
style instead of the 2D, right?
yeah,
Have you ever heard of I think it's like the Fabulous Ladybug or something like that? There's this cartoon show,
no. Oh wait, maybe,
Ladybug and something. Anyway,
maybe.
it's 3D anime and it actually looks pretty good. It's not as
Interesting.
bad as What If animation was.
Okay.
So if it's the same style, then I think we're probably okay. Let me see if I can pull that up.
It's just interesting thing because for me, and I know so many other comic book fans, the most nostalgic thing is like that 2D animation style for comic book shows. So to have what seems a home run with that, especially because everybody I saw online loved the concept art. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
myself included, love the concept art for Spider-Man freshman year. It looked great. Everything they talked about sounded great. And then it got canceled and somehow behind the scenes, unofficial, like kind of like quietly uncanceled and then changed into this, which is kind of in my mind bizarre.
Yeah, it's weird.
And more bizarre than that, I heard a rumor. I don't know if this was confirmed or not, but that the same thing is true for X-Men 97.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which that I know has made a lot of people
That
actually upset
that I can
because it
understand
was
being mad
it was
about.
supposed to be like a sequel series to the original X-Men show. Like a continuation. Like it's kind of how I remembered it being marketed as.
Yeah.
And they showed footage from the new show at a Comic-Con. That was a while ago though. That was some time, and now it's kind of there are like whispers like, oh, they changed it and it's now 3D
I don't believe that.
as well.
But
And
mostly because it's coming out next year. That would take a long time to change it.
yeah, but it was originally supposed to be coming out this year.
So was everything. To
Yeah,
be fair.
yeah. It's well because it would take a long time to change everything, but if the change has been in motion for
Yeah.
a while now, then they could have done that. And if they're doing the same thing with Spider-Man freshman year, and if they're just trying to have that be their kind of thing,
Mhm.
then yeah.
I don't know.
So
Donald.
some interesting news. Like on one hand, I'm kind of glad that it's back on the table, but
Yeah.
on the other hand, I just wish it was a 2D animation style because that's what I was the most excited about.
Yeah. So is this a Sony and MCU thing, or is it just MCU?
No, it's just MCU.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
That's what I thought.
I'm
Sony would
pretty
never
sure.
cancel anything. They should, but they wouldn't. By the way, has
Oh
Craven
man.
come out yet?
No, it's coming out in October, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
I'd completely
Hold on.
forgotten about that till just
Yeah,
now.
I kind of did too. Craven the Hunter release date. Let's see what they say.
August 30. Oh, next year?
Whoa, did it get
Yeah, it got delayed.
pushed? When did that happen?
Okay, so while we're here, that got
Oh,
delayed. Madam
yeah.
Web
So
got delayed.
it was originally coming out
Like
October
I was just saying, recent.
6th.
Like we
6th.
just got the
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out October 6th. Now it got delayed almost an entire year after we got the trailer. Why would they do that?
It says later in September it was delayed. What do you mean late? It's the 7th. What do you mean later in December?
No. September of last year, it was
Then why did
delayed
they give
to
us a trailer so
October
early?
of this year.
Why did they get? Why did
No,
they?
like the movie was supposed to come out earlier, and then September of this previous year, they
Oh,
delayed it to October of this
oh, I
year,
see, I see, I see.
and then it got further pushed back. I'm assuming just very recently here.
Gotcha, gotcha. That's weird. And
So
then
yeah,
Madam Web is February 16th of next year, which I didn't know it was supposed to be that soon.
which it's crazy that now Madam Web is coming out before Craven the Hunter. We've gotten like two
For now,
trailers for Craven. Yeah,
for now, we don't know.
that's very true.
Anyway, got sidetracked again.
Oh,
That's
oh.
usual for us, though. Let's be fine. Let's be.
Also, with just all of the release dates for like all the Marvel shows and stuff being pushed back, a very funny thing. I think it was before the episode started that I was talking about this here, but the the Marvel Lego any figures I purchased here.
Yep.
So many from that series are all main characters in shows that were supposed to air during this year that now no longer are. It's
Oof.
so funny because it was going to be very topical when it released because it's going to be like
Yeah.
all the characters in shows now, and then all of the shows got pushed. So everything topical
Yikes.
is like gone. Like all the shows they're referencing for the most part are coming out
Next year. Yeah.
next year at the earliest.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Speaking of shows that are not supposed to come out for a while,
Mm-hmm.
Donald and Stephen Glover are set to write the Lando series.
Which is that was stellar news to hear because the last
Fantastic.
I had heard about it is it was just shuffled away. I don't know if it was formally canceled, but they were like it looked like it was not happening at all. And that
Yeah.
was for like a year or a year and a half
Yeah.
or something. It was for a long time that it was unofficially just canceled.
Mhm.
And now it is back and it's being uh written in part by Donald Glover himself.
Yep. Yep. And I think that's really awesome. I wonder if that kind of gives us a hint at what era of we're gonna get of Lando. Because I think
Oh,
we could have
that's
gone either way,
interesting.
because we could have gotten post episode 9, where Lando and that girl, I don't remember her name, they went and traveled to find her people.
Yeah.
Or we could get something anywhere before episode 4, after episode 6,
Yeah.
during episode 3. It
I
doesn't matter.
yeah, because I don't think that they would go that old to like after episode 9 here, because I think a lot of their focus will want to be on Donald Glover
Right.
portraying Lando here. But
But
that
yeah,
does
yeah,
bring up
yeah.
an interesting option here, because because you have both actors who are alive still, kind of old Lando and young
Knock on wood.
Lando. Oh yeah,
Especially with the weekend we had with
absolutely.
famous people dying. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of directions that you can go with that. But yeah, even with just him, you could go after Solo, before episode 4. You could go prior to Solo, even.
Yep.
You could go after episode 6. You could go anywhere kind of in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential for that.
There is, and I'm happy about that, because I enjoy Lando as a character. I've read a couple books with him in it. And he's a great character, and I love
Yeah.
Donald Glover. Obviously, if we've mentioned earlier, Community is like one of our favorites. So
Yes, absolutely. And it gives me so much hope for Star Wars. It's like, yes, be comfortable recasting your legacy characters here.
yeah,
Solo was not a mistake, because you recast Harrison Ford instead of trying to like
get coax him back into
zombify,
it. Yeah,
CGI, de-agify him. It was a mistake for some other reasons, I believe here, but honestly, not a bad movie at all. Still, in the
yeah,
grand scheme of Star Wars mistakes. So I am kind of excited to see where that series goes, if it's happening still. Having the comments about them wanting to cut back spending on Star Wars and
yeah,
Marvel here.
yeah.
This is one of the
Beyond
things
the
I was talking
Spider.
about. Oh, so this is one of the things that I was talking about too, with them saying, "Oh, we're like not we're like cutting content creation for Star Wars," and this is announced like immediately
Yeah, I know.
after that.
But Beyond the Spider Verse, joining many, many, many other Marvel uh projects, has been delayed indefinitely, which
Yeah.
we actually mentioned last show with RJ. Was like, how are they going to get this shit done
Yep.
in a year? They're not. So I don't. Who knows when we're going to get this?
Yeah.
The second movie was just so fucking good. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, it was good. It kind of
It's
sucks that we're not going to be able to see this for who knows how long.
yeah,
But
like like I hope that they don't hear, but I wouldn't be surprised with the timing if this studio tried to blame the strikes for delaying it, because there are a lot of shows, that were close. If the strikes impacted them, the studios can say, "Hey, the strikes are why we're delaying this," and that's fine. It's valid, because that is why. But if they try to do that with Beyond the Spider Verse, it's like, you guys, it took you 4 years to do the previous movie. You thought you were going to do this in 10 months with no strikes? Nuh-uh. No way.
yeah, yeah, we kind of this was inevitable. I mean, RJ called it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. 100%. As soon as I saw the release date and then found out that they hadn't done like any of the work for the movie yet, I was like, it's going to get delayed. How much? That's the question. But we all kind of know.
yeah, yeah. We knew.
Yeah.
Um, Loki season 2 trailer. That's how far back we have to go, because we've not talked about this yet.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
It's
We look at this. We looked at this so long ago.
yeah,
So
it
we can
like
you can talk about it. I'll watch it on mute. But
okay. Yeah. I mean, it was just a pretty cool trailer. It's been a while since I've seen it here, but there were a couple neat call outs uh, that I do remember. First, the cast for this upcoming season looks phenomenal here.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
excited just because it's a season 2 of a Marvel show, an MCU show, I should say.
super
Because
rare.
this is the first season 2 we've gotten, and the only season 2 currently planned.
Planned, right?
Yeah,
Though I think
which
She-Hulk deserves a season two,
is
in
wild.
my opinion.
I
But
actually I actually saw that 2 shows are rumored to be receiving a season 2.
oh,
She-Hulk was,
this is the second. This is the second. This is the first of two that we're getting this year.
huh?
First, the second one is What If season two.
Oh yeah. I I don't really count what if though because
But it's an
it's like
MCU show.
yeah only like technically they haven't done anything to really tie in
No, it's
to the MCU.
the more I think about that show, the more I realize like it was unnecessary and not really good.
Yeah, it would have been great had Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness
That
made any
sucked.
kind of reference to it at all.
Yeah, that movie was bad. Like the more I think
Yeah,
about the movie, it was bad.
like it had some good parts, but
Yeah, yeah, I guess.
as a whole, shouldn't have really been the movie that it was
No,
just now. But for the Loki season 2 trailer, cast looks phenomenal. We
phenomenal.
have time slipping as a concept
Yep.
now, which looks like to me, and a lot of people have said this too, looks like a live action version of glitching from the
Yeah.
Spider-Verse films.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which, if so, like obviously time slipping wouldn't be the same thing as glitching here. But even if there is some kind of tie-in or reference, like that's perfect.
It seems like Loki is, and this I just watched the trailer again. It seems like Loki is gonna have like he's gonna use his powers more. Like he kind of used them in the first season. Like now we're gonna
Yeah,
see Loki like in his prime
yeah.
form.
I want to see
And it looks
more
like
character
yeah,
development with him there because that's what shows should really be about
right,
is the character development. And with 6 episode shows, you really don't get all that much. And
right.
like Loki, I'm gonna be honest, it was a good show, but as a 6 episode series, didn't really like it as much. I feel like it left on a off on a big cliffhanger here.
Yeah,
But now that we're getting a continuation, I can view it in my own mind as a 12 episode series and not like 2 6 episode seasons. And I think as a 12 episode series, I'm really kind of like how this all plays out.
yeah. And I might, and when this comes out, I might try and watch season one first, like or again. Like it's been 2 years since I've
Yeah.
seen it,
Yeah.
so maybe things have changed in my mind. Maybe the MCU has changed to make it a little bit more significant. Who knows?
Yeah.
But like I mean, it's kind of this. I mean, this is what we've been talking about for ages. It's been 2 years since we've seen Loki.
Yeah.
I mean, so
And and I mean, and not just the fact that it's been 2 years since we've seen him, because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, but like that's a normal break for like shows or movies if you're seeing a character in movies or whatever. But the thing that makes it kind of sting is like Marvel churns out so many projects, so
yeah,
it's you're like, oh, it's like 2 years, but then you look and it's like 18 total projects between like you seeing a character once, you seeing the same character
character. Yeah,
again.
yeah,
And at that point, it's like that's ridiculous, especially if this character is supposed to be like a major focus in the universe as a whole.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see the context that, or I guess we saw him last year, technically, at the end of Ant-Man.
Yeah, which no, that was earlier this year.
Early this year. I
but
thought
yeah,
I thought it did it not leak into the. Oh no, you're right. It was early this year.
yeah.
Okay,
It
so yeah, I
was
guess it has been about 2 years. Either
February.
way,
But with that, and like that was even though it was more of a teaser for a show, and I don't really like those as post credit tags. It was cool to see, but
yeah,
like you kind of get what they were originally trying to do with release dates because originally Loki was supposed to come out in hey I in in
something like that. Yeah,
May, uh, I believe, which would have been like 3 months after the movie first aired, which would have been kind of perfect timing for like the top for like a topical transition here.
yeah.
And then all of that went out the window completely. It's like Marvel just got their plate way too full.
Well, it was like when WandaVision was supposed to come out, and like the day of the last episode, we were supposed to get um
Yeah, yes,
Doctor
something like
Strange.
that. Yeah, we're not that close, I don't think, but like pretty darn close.
Yeah, yeah. But it'll be interesting to see if this adds any context to Ant-Man 3 at all.
It,
That movie was a hot mess.
yeah, like it won't. I can almost promise you it'll not at all.
But
Maybe the most charitably is we might get some reference to the Council of Kangs, perhaps,
maybe, yeah.
but
So
I
we'll see.
even that I think would be a huge stretch.
I think it looks pretty good. And maybe
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe it'll take Loki and make it because I mean, it's well known, it's well documented on this show that I'm not the biggest fan of that show, especially the last 3 episodes. Maybe having the second set of six, is it six again?
Yep.
So maybe having
6
the
again.
second set of six, maybe you hit a sophomore slump, and then sets of three, number 3 and 4 are better, and so you're like, all right, I can forgive. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like a sophomore slump in sports, where your second year is always your worst. Maybe the second set of three is the worst one. So we'll see.
What my question after kind of seeing everything surrounding Loki season 2 is though is how much money did McDonald's pay them? Because McDonald's seems to have such a central focus in this season just based on
Yeah.
all the marketing they've been doing here recently. And I'm like, did McDonald's just buy an MCU series? Was that what they did?
We'll get the multiverse of grimaces in a minute, but
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. I saw a complaint about. I think it was a Marvel movie recently. Oh no, it was Secret Invasion. Someone talked about how the entire series was just product placement. I didn't catch it because I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff, but
Product placement for what?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
They didn't tell me specifically because they didn't want to ruin
Interesting.
anything for me. But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what that was something I'd heard. There's like a ton of product placement in that I guess we're seeing that again in Loki, but
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't necessarily remember any specific products, but I think I was just shocked about how bad it was. So, oh.
product placement in what the Secret Invasion. Is that what it's called?
Mm,
Secret Invasion.
mhm.
Try new AI
Um,
powered experiment. No, I'm good.
oh, speaking of that, that was one thing that I really did not like about Secret Invasion is for their title sequence.
Uh-huh.
It was just AI generated. And like I don't know if like you had heard that or not, but like it was confirmed that like it
The
was just an
subtitles were?
AI. No, the title sequence where it's like uh
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, like where the theme song would be if they had a theme song. They kind of had a theme song, but like
It's more like
that
a
whole
theme
title
swell.
where it was like the planet and like colors all blurring together, and then it was
Yeah,
like Secret Invasion. That was all AI
I
generated,
thought it was
and
really stupid.
yeah, I
Had nothing to
didn't
do with the show.
like I didn't like it at all, and I thought it was lazy. I thought it was an excuse for them to like get out of paying someone to make it, even though I was grateful that they didn't make some VXF artists slave away for, the ungodly hours that Disney makes them work to make a
Sure,
title sequence.
sure.
But it's like it just it's an it's like another symptom of kind of what's going on right now, and like that's like like I'm usually like religious about watching like the full title sequence theme
Oh, I don't
song
do
for
that.
shows always, like because I always like seeing that because it really helps set the vibe for the show as a whole. And this one I skipped each week because it just looked bad, and I knew that there was like no like actual human kind of creativity in that, and it kind of sucked.
Yeah, I don't. I skip them
Oh,
all, but I skip them because I watch or I occasionally watch anime, and those intro
yeah.
sequences are like 4 minutes long. So I would rather just not do
Oh,
this.
yeah. That's very fair. Also, do you know how Secret Invasion ends? Have you had that spoiled for you yet?
Nope,
Okay,
please,
then
and
like
don't do it. But
yeah, then yeah,
I'm not gonna watch it, but I still don't want to be spoiled.
yeah, then I won't spoil it either. But I will say the way it ends had a lot of people very upset. That the finale had like a 13% on Rotten
Oh wow.
Tomatoes, and like the director of the show, he went on record and he was like, "Hey, the concept of how to end this series, it was mandated from Kevin Feige directly. He said, "This is how you have to end the series. I don't care how you get there, but this is how you have to end it." And it was the worst ending I think I've ever seen to any show ever. So it truly is just Kevin Feige. I don't think he has any idea what he's doing here.
Man, Marvel or so what is Marvel make a good ending to a series challenge level impossible.
Yeah, right. And it makes sense because the ending was kind of just exactly like a mere reflection of so many of the other lackluster finales that we've seen. So it
Yeah.
it is so funny after we saw the She-Hulk finale, which basically mocked Kevin
Mocked.
Feige
Yep.
as like an algorithm, like dictating everything. It's like that's what it turned out to be. Like that was it's still happening. That was the least self-aware joke I've ever seen.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, moving on to
Switching
next news.
yeah,
Yeah, with
switching
DC.
Yep, it's Gail Gadot says they are developing a new Wonder Woman movie in James Gunn's DCU, which confirms
Yeah.
what you meant, what you thought earlier. It is just a DC universe.
Yeah, which also, yeah, I wanted to introduce this piece because this kind of happened here, and then it kind of came out a little while after that. No, this is not happening at
That's okay.
all, and Gal Gadot uh made it up is
Here's
the
the thing.
current theory
That's funny.
going around. Which is the only thing that's interesting is James Gunn himself has not commented on it at all. So it's just kind of like he said he said thing right now. But
It's all
even
about the he
though
said, she said bullshit.
yeah, like even though I liked Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman in certain projects here, and like I thought she was fine as Wonder Woman in other projects. Like I liked her in Batman v Superman, and I liked her in the first Wonder Woman
She wasn't really in
movie.
Batman v Superman. Like she was in it, but like not for very long.
Yeah.
She didn't like pally up. She wasn't really even Wonder Woman. She was just
Yeah, but like it was still cool to
her
see her.
alter ego. No, yeah, I agree.
I thought she did a good job with the character there. In Wonder Woman 1984, did not like her at all. I didn't like a lot about that movie, if anything.
I
And then in like the Justice League movies, I just thought he was fine. So like it was a mixed bag. But what I'm thinking with like the DCU moving forward is like, especially with the big characters, you got to recast
every single one of them.
like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. All of those need to
The
be
Flash.
unique here. Yo, yeah, Flash,
That one's a little
Flash
obvious.
especially. But yeah, because it's like smaller ones like Harley Quinn, Peacemaker, Amanda Waller, even like sure, those are fine. General audiences can get over that. I just think it's really hard for you to kind of do a reset when one of the big three, especially, is staying exactly as is.
Yeah, I agree. Also, why would she make this up? She's Gal Gadot. She didn't have to make up stuff about
Yeah,
Wonder Woman
yeah,
to
like the
have any. I don't get that rumor.
yeah, like
That's a bad rumor.
yeah, like the what the fans speculation is after kind of both sides came out here is what James Gunn uh did when him and the other guy took over. It was what both of them did, and this was very public and knowledge here, is they sat down all of like the big cast members to kind of be like, hey, we're taking over. Things are gonna change. We're gonna do what's best for the characters uh here. But like we're gonna be moving in like new directions and essentially kind of telling them if they're staying or if they're being kicked to the perb here.
Right.
And what people are speculating is when they kind of had a meeting with Gal Gadot, if they said the same kind of things, maybe she took
Mhm.
it in the most charitable way possible and was like, "Oh, they're telling me that my character is safe. They must be making Wonder Woman 3." And then
No, no,
as a
no.
result, kind of been
Wonder Woman
under a
1985. We've
one
already made the sorry 85 because they've already made 2 through 83.
yep
Haven't seen them.
exactly. Um, but yeah, it's kind of like that episode of like Parks and Rec, where I don't know if like you've seen
Yep.
Parks and Rec here, but when uh Chris, I think was his name, like where like Anne suspects him of like cheating on her, so
Yep.
like she goes and confronts him, and he's like, "I'm not cheating on you, but also we're not dating," and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I broke up with you," and she was like, "That was such a gentle letdown. I did not realize you were breaking up with me until this very moment here." I think that may have happened with Gal Gadot if what everyone is saying
That's fun.
is like is true and no one is like outright lying here.
That's funny. Um, Next piece of news: Loki, WandaVision will be getting 4K UHD and which I don't know what the UHD means and
Ultra high
Blu-ray.
definition.
Uh, I guess I should have known that, shouldn't I?
I
Anyway,
mean, it's not so that's intuitive because that's not like a common like acronym that's used at
yeah, you
all.
usually just write ultra high definition. Anyway, Loki and WandaVision will be released on 4K ultra high definition and Blu-ray for the first time ever.
And
Also, I think
also,
it.
both The Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2 were confirmed for a physical release as well.
I think this may be the first time a streaming service has ever released one of their anythings on like in physical form. I don't know. That's like a
That's
grand.
interesting.
I've never seen it before, which I think is strange. But
Yeah,
so you said finally about time they give us physical releases, and I said this is going to be a topic on the podcast because I have strong opinions on physical releases.
I'm interested
Here's the thing.
to hear them.
Let me preface it with this.
Okay. Okay.
I love vinyl records and CDs.
Yeah.
I do not like that they're releasing this on physical DVD. I do not have a good reason why. I
Oh,
don't know because for
interesting.
someone who loves physical music, I hate physical TV. I
Interesting.
don't know why. I think
See, like I absolutely love physical media across all areas here, so I am stoked for this because I feel
sure.
like especially with what we've seen recently here with how eager streaming services can be to just take off old projects and make it so you can't access them at all. I
Which
think that
they've done. Which what was that show on HBO Max?
Infinity Train.
Yes.
Yep, exactly like that. So yeah, like I'm stoked that now if Disney says, "Hey, the MCU, what was that?" and they scribble trace of it from like online here, that there can be these physical media things. So for WandaVision or Loki here,
Mm-hmm.
we can still watch them.
Yeah. And I say that
You Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
I love having my favorite DVDs too. I don't know what it is about TV specifically. I just don't like it.
Just
It's
TV,
just
not like
TV.
movies.
It's
Wow,
not.
that's
I
that is
have
wild.
a collection of my favorite movies of all time,
Oh yeah,
but I don't have a single episode of How I Met Your Mother on DVD because I think it's stupid. I don't know
that is
why. Maybe
that is
because it's
wild.
on streaming services. I don't know, but so is music and movies. So it doesn't make any sense to me. I have no good reason to
Yeah,
be against it. And I'm happy for
that is
everyone who
wild.
collects stuff like this because I know you do because you have all seasons of Community on DVD, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm against TV on DVD. I don't like it personally.
Yeah,
But I'm happy for
that
you.
is
So
wild.
are you
Yeah.
gonna get both or all? I guess all
No,
four.
I'm not gonna get any of them, and this is the thing that I was talking about here, because the one thing that Disney did with this that pissed me off completely
Yeah.
is I don't know for Mandalorian, I'm assuming it's the same thing here, but for Loki and WandaVision, they are $45 each. Yeah,
Maybe that's why I hate it. because it's not cheap. Movies
No,
are
no.
most they're not cheap either. Vinyl records definitely are not cheap. CDs are
Mm-mm.
pretty cheap. You can get them pretty cheap, but holy
Yeah,
$45 each.
yeah, yeah,
That's ridiculous. Though that cover art is really sick,
yeah. Oh yeah,
especially the
it is
WandaVision
sick,
one.
and like they're in like the highest qualities possible in terms of like in terms of like what the movie is for watching it. So like that would be like so that'd be fantastic here if it was like $25 at the most. I would consider purchasing it at that price point. But for almost twice that,
Yeah.
not a chance. Like what my best bet will be for this that I use as a strategy for most other things is if I see it at a
Yeah.
yard sale, I will buy it there.
Or like a
Or if,
used store, yeah.
yeah, if it's on clearance somewhere, I will buy it there, but I'm not paying anywhere close to full price for that.
That's fine.
I
Go on for
I am
it'll be
just
on Facebook Marketplace the next day. We all know
yeah.
this.
Yeah, like I just am glad
That's
it is
wild.
I am glad it is getting a physical release though, so now it is no longer like it is no longer just under Disney completely to decide, what they want to do with it if they want it to be available to the public or not. Like no, it's in the public's hands now completely. And there will always be a copy
To
out there, which
my
I think that's
yeah.
so important because like we're like, oh yeah, it'll stay streaming for a bit here. But if this is ever a series we want to show to our kids or our grandkids, who's to say like 50 years in the future this will be out there at all?
Yeah, yeah. Um Also, if they were to put Daredevil on DVD, all three seasons, I would buy that.
I would buy that in a heartbeat. I have wanted them to do that forever here, and it's just not gonna it's not gonna happen, and I know it's not gonna happen there. But there are so many shows like streaming only. It's like put this on a physical
Yeah.
piece of media, and I am also uh uh remembering here this is not the first time that streaming has gone to
It's not.
physical
Okay.
media directly. Because like I'm like I know there's some other examples. I can't think of any. I can't think of any older ones, but I do know that the Last of Us aired on HBO Max exclusively, and
Oh,
like
okay.
very shortly after it had concluded, it had a physical release as well.
Oh, well,
So
that's
it's
okay.
it's
Okay,
something
gotcha.
not the first time. It's not the most common, I don't think, but it
Yeah, no.
but it does happen.
Okay, gotcha. Um, and as for it getting pulled, I doubt it'll ever get pulled because I don't, unless like something in there becomes controversial in like 30 years. I think there's only other than the like obviously racist cartoons.
But
Or
like
sorry,
not
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 obvious, like face value racist cartoon. Like you can look at it and say, "Wow, that shit's racist." The only thing that the only thing that I can remember, and this is also super racist too, is Song of the South. Is the only thing that I've
yeah.
ever seen them not pull from the internet because they never went on the internet.
Yeah.
So like that's the
Yeah,
only thing I've
but
ever seen Disney pull. Like they haven't even pulled Dumbo.
y-
They've
yeah, but
edited it, but they've never pulled it.
yeah, but not necessarily pulled, but just in the scope of streaming. It's like I believe as Disney Plus exists, these shows will be out there. You can watch them.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
is Disney Plus gonna be around in like
Oh,
50
okay. I see what you
years?
mean. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if not, if it's absorbed by some other streaming service, will this streaming service keep these shows on there, or will they
Right.
kind of put them in the vault?
Yeah, yeah. I gotcha. That's
Yeah.
all the news
Because
I have.
yeah, I mean, because like remember, even though we have the Netflix Marvel shows on Disney Plus now, they were pulled from Netflix, and there was
That's
a
true.
span of a couple months where, for the most part, you could not watch them at all
Yep.
unless you purchased them on iTunes. I think they were available
That's right.
there, but that
Yep.
was like the only place. So you can either spend like $75 to own a license to Ahsoka, hi. Um, you could spend $75 for a license to watch them for as long as iTunes exists, but that was it. And that
Yeah.
was like the last chance. So physical media, just so you know that you're always safe with the shows that you want to be able to see,
Yeah. It's an insurance
is just
policy. Yeah.
yeah is so important to me here.
Yeah. So, speaking of Ahsoka, it is
Yes,
time to talk
time to
about
talk
the
about your
first
show.
4 episodes of Ahsoka,
Yes, we are
which
halfway
I was
through.
going to ask you how many episodes are that. I don't remember. Is it
Eight.
9?
Eight.
8? God, it's too
Yep.
short.
There, but I'm
Ugh.
so glad that it's more than 6. 8, even though it's just 2 more episodes, it feels infinitely better than 6 for some reason to me, and I don't know
Yep.
why, but it's just knowing that there are 8 instead of 6 brings me so much comfort here.
Yep. Agreed. So, episode 1. Thoughts?
Loved it.
I was a little bored
I
for
so
episode
okay,
1. I liked it a lot.
yeah,
But to the person who hasn't seen Rebels but is watching all the live action stuff, and I actually talked to someone about this at work, they didn't like it. They thought it was too focused on Sabine,
interesting.
and they didn't know who that was. Like they kind
Yeah,
of knew, but not really.
yeah,
And I could see where they're coming from.
yeah. See,
To me,
for
it
me
felt
here,
more like Rebels, which was great. I
yeah,
love Rebels.
no,
It's probably one of my
a
It's one of my
hundred
favorite
percent.
shows. I love that show.
Yeah, I was gonna say like how this show, like, with how it's kind of marketed, who the cast was, everyone was online was like, it's Rebel season 5, it's a live action Rebel season 5. That's all it
Right.
is, and that does seem, to me at least, to be very accurate here
Yeah.
to, to what the show is. It's just Rebel season 5 with more focus on Ahsoka, but I am fine with that. I have no idea. I
Yeah.
honestly have no idea how it reads to somebody who's never seen Rebels before.
Right.
Like, there's so many scenes I've seen. It's like, if I hadn't seen Rebels, would I get this? And I can only think no,
No. Yeah.
because it's like
Like the
it's
scene with Ezra.
yeah, right?
You just like, who the hell is this person? It's just
Yeah.
a little person that she's talking to. Why is she so obsessed with this person?
Hmm.
Are they a boyfriend and girlfriend? No, they're just
Yeah.
good friends.
Is she obsessed with him because he's small? I mean, look at the scale.
Dude, I wish
Uh
that happened.
but yeah, so like like I thought it was great. Like it was kind of weird. It seemed almost too much of a step away from Rebels at times. It was so
Yep.
jarring for me
Yep.
to not see Sabine in like the Mandalorian outfit the entire time, like she
Hmm.
was throughout all of all of Rebels here. But
Yep.
I still think it did a very good job at translating to live action.
Hmm.
Although some of the scenes, it's it's like the color seemed a little more washed out. The choreography seemed a bit duller than what you can accomplish through
Yep.
animation. But as a whole, especially the theme song, or like the title sequence, I love that.
Yep.
That was stellar.
Yep.
Um,
Um, what? So
Being the governor, I will also say,
that's
I
who I
don't
was gonna
remember
bring
his
up.
name.
I was gonna bring up the
Yeah,
governor.
yeah,
Same
yeah,
actor too. It's Clancy
yeah.
Brown. Yep.
Loved him. That was so cool. And it's like all that stuff where it's like it feels like it's fan service, but done
Correct. Yep.
very correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's these are like, and again, it's like the little Easter eggs you'll find here and there where, like you said, someone who hasn't watched Rebels, they're just not gonna get it. They'll be like, okay, here's this guy on a planet, Sabine Wren.
Yep. It's like I don't understand how you can really watch this without seeing Rebels here,
Right.
especially
I don't
given the
I don't
last
think it's
episode, which
required.
we won't
I think as long
go
as you
into yet,
know
but yeah.
as long as you know who Ahsoka Tano is, and you have a vague idea that Rebels existed, and you know the characters from that, or like what characters from that show,
Yeah.
I think you're probably okay.
Yeah,
But
like it definitely
it
isn't
helps.
required the way that they've structured things. Like, you can kind of just be invested in the adventure for what it is. Most of it
Yep.
revolves around like like the map right now. You can kind of get hooked into it for that.
Yep.
That's a new element that wasn't in Rebels. there's a lot of new characters that are all very cool, but knowing Rebels helps exponentially.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting because when I talk to my friend at work who's watching the show, he said they're gonna go back and watch Rebels when the show is done. It'll be
Yeah,
interesting perspective to hear what he has to say about it after watching Ahsoka.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm sure it'll be a very different experience knowing what happens to both Ahsoka and Sabine.
yeah. Especially because Ahsoka canonically dies like halfway through Rebels
Yes,
until she's saved by Ezra at the very end,
yes,
which
that dude,
that's
show.
for people who are watching it to figure out what's going on in Ahsoka, they're gonna be so lost there.
Yeah, and
Even though,
well, in the
like,
world between worlds stuff, that's gonna
yeah,
trip some people up
like
as we see here at the end of episode 4.
I hated it because they made her her death as complicated as possible. Where like how the story is supposed to be, the story is she's supposed to die there until Ezra saves her,
Yep,
but then they just don't go all. They kind of uh they like chicken out,
yep.
and they don't go all the way with it, and it makes it read super confusingly for like the entire rest of the series up until she's saved.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, it's yeah, yeah, it is wild. I was talking to a coworker earlier to no, not today. It was yesterday, and like I brought up the Ahsoka show.
Over by the virtual water over by the virtual water cooler
Yep, yep, exactly. And because I was talking about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah," because I've seen the first two episodes, and I was
yeah
like, "Yeah, it just Rebels season 5." He's like, "Oh, I never watched Rebels here because he's like a Star Wars fan. He's only seen like the movies and
and
like
the live action
the
stuff.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, and that's been it." So I was like, I was like, how did I was like, just out of curiosity, how does it read to you so far here? Because like I can't imagine seeing it without seeing Rebels. And he's
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, there's some stuff that I'm kind of confused about, but for the most part, it's just a fun show that I'm enjoying here. And I
Yeah.
was like, sweet. And the whole time I was in the back of my mind, I was like, get to episode 4. What do you think about that? Because oh my god,
Um. What do you think about the antagonists in the show? So we have three main antagonists. We have the
I
Sith Lord, we
love.
have the Sith Apprentice, and
Oh
we have the who we
yeah,
ended up finding out was a Night Sister in I think episode 1 or 2. I don't remember which, but we did find out that there's a Night Sister working for Thrawn, the one who was
yeah,
arrested in Mando season
yep,
2,
yep.
which is
Yeah.
super interesting.
First, first, the opening of Ahsoka. I totally forgot about this. So thank you for reminding me. Like the first scene, and actually jumping back to before the first scene, the opening scrawl.
Yep.
That was like that was I cannot even express to you like the pure rush of emotion when we actually got like an opening scrawl for
Yep.
Ahsoka. That was perfect. I thought like that's how you do a recap for a show like this
Yep.
because God knows Star Wars jumps around so much, and the opening scroll is so important to kind of
Yep.
give you perspective with all of this here. That was brilliant. And then the first scene where you have the they're not they're definitely not Jedi, but they're not quite
Yeah, I guess they're
Sith.
not Sith. I guess they're just dark
Yeah,
side users,
yeah,
master and
just
apprentice.
the master and apprentice there. That whole first scene, and people have kind of described it like their dynamic is kind of what Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan had in the first scene, kind of
Yeah.
parallels
Yeah.
episode 1. And
Well,
it
and
truly is, it's so perfect to me.
yeah.
I love those characters. Like they're probably like two of my favorite new characters that we've gotten in like a while here.
Yeah. I love the juxtaposition of the red lightsabers and then the Padawan braid.
They're orange.
Oh, they're
They're
orange.
orange
I thought they were
too. And
red.
also I love that detail. No, like because in like the promo material, they were orange, and like they 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 look red, like they're not true orange lightsabers, but they're more orange than typical red ones are. And if you see it, and you're like that looks red. The last episode that we just saw, where you see Eric with his red lightsabers,
Uh-huh.
and then the Sith Padawan, I'll just call her, with her orange one,
Oh,
you
I
can
see it
tell
now. Yeah.
the difference in the colors, and it's so cool. And what that actually is, it's a callback to the very first Star Wars poster where like Darth Vader had his lightsaber,
And it
and
was
in that
orange.
poster, yeah, it's more orange than it is red. It didn't really become red until like the movie eras and stuff, and they decided to make Sith lightsabers totally red.
Uh-huh.
But it's both like an Easter egg to that, and like to reference that they're not actually Sith all the way in the typical sense. I
Yeah.
just think
Yeah.
that is so cool.
It is still an interesting detail to have the Padawan braid and the dark or like the red or the orange
Yes, yeah, yeah.
lightsaber.
Like
It's an
the
interesting.
the Padawan braid is like everything about it, just the little details. You can tell that they actually put thought into like,
Yeah,
crafting all of these characters here. I love their dynamic
I do too.
so much.
I
I
need a
hope
book about them.
and yeah, I hope the master. I don't remember the character's name.
I don't remember either.
Balin.
Maybe.
I want to say that's something. I hope he gets a satisfying conclusion to his arc.
Mhm.
Uh, because obviously can't come back for season two here. Uh, uh, Major. Rest in peace for
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Ray Stevenson. I
Yeah.
think
I think
was his
so.
name. Great actor so far.
Yeah, he's
His
been he's
perf-
been fantastic so far.
his performance is incredible, and I hope the character gets a satisfying conclusion to his arc. But
Yeah.
like, these are more characters I'd love to know more about. Padawan, I'd love to see her more.
Yeah, and this is where animation can kind of pick up some things where people have passed, unfortunately. You can do more stuff with Leia. You could always recast Leia, but this character's so new. I guess you could technically recast, but I think you could probably do some justice in animation. Maybe like a, because they've been around since the Clone Wars. I mean, they've said that outwardly a couple times.
Yeah, yeah.
So we could have like a Tale of the Jedi that we had with Qui-Gon and that we had with
Ooh,
Dooku and Ahsoka. Have that similar kind of story with these two, and I think that'd be really, really interesting. Something
yeah,
really interesting to do. Because I
yeah,
know there's
yeah.
supposed to be a season 2 of that. Maybe we'll see,
Um,
but they keep
I
adding
of
of Tale of the Jedi.
Tales
Yeah,
of the Jedi.
sorry,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So because they keep adding interesting Jedi to do this with, and I think these two would be fantastic.
yeah. It
Even if
would.
they're not Jedi anymore
Yeah,
or not
yeah, yeah,
fully. So yeah, episode 2 kind of, or I guess at the end of episode 1, we think Sabine dies.
yeah.
She doesn't. Why would she? We know she doesn't.
Yeah. Well, we don't think she does, but she gets stabbed pretty
Pretty viciously,
gnarly. I
which she
like.
still has
I will
Ezra's
say,
lightsaber. Also,
yeah, that was a cool fight scene.
yes,
Um. Also, we got to see the Oath Cat in live
yeah,
action.
yeah,
That was fantastic. I
that was
love
cool.
that thing.
It'll be interesting
And
to see if we see a Loth Wolf at all.
yeah. But yeah, she was like going through stuff. And I was like, grab your helmet, put on your Mandalorian helmet. What are you doing? But no, we do like, yeah, not to jump ahead in the episodes, but we do in episode 4, we get to see her with her entire Mando outfit on, and that was
Yep,
so cool.
yep.
I'm glad, because I was like, why do they keep sitting away from this? You're Rebels season 5. Give us more Rebels. Like, don't distance yourself from that
Yeah.
completely. But yeah, in season 2,
Episode
Ahsoka and Sabine, you can tell there's some tension there. A
episode
lot.
2. You said season 2. I fucking
Yeah,
wish there was a
sorry.
season 2 to this show.
Episode 2, you can tell there's some tension between Sabine and Ahsoka because of what happened between Rebels season 4 and 5 here.
I need a Rebels season 4.5. When did she become a trainee for the Jedi?
Yeah, right. There's got to be
We need something.
There's got to be like a book that's being about this or something here
I
because
hope
that's
so.
too much content.
I'll
But
read the shit out of it.
I mean, a lot happened between Sabine and Ahsoka as we keep continually picking up on. Also, not to just keep jumping to episode 4, but Sabine's entire family was killed.
I missed that.
Oh,
No. Oh, you know what?
you did?
You know, during okay, no, that tracks anyway.
What?
That her family was killed because remember,
Oh,
her family was in Rebels, and then there was
yeah.
the thing that happened. Din Djarin was there. Remember his flashbacks. Maybe that's how they died. I don't know. Maybe I missed
No,
this part.
no, yeah, because like, no, because like, yeah, there's just a tiny bit of dialogue in episode 4 where like it's it's like when Sabine has the map and Balin's talking to Sabine, and there's some line that he says where it's essentially just like, oh, uh, Ahsoka didn't trust you with something on Mandalore,
Uh,
and your entire family was killed.
who
And it's
said
like,
this?
whoa, whoa, whoa! It's a
Was it the robot?
Balin. He like reached
Oh
into
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sabine's mind, and also I think just knew other stuff uh, about Sabine, and so that explains exactly why Sabine and Ahsoka would be on bad terms. But it's like, what happened with that? Where was that?
Yeah,
Like
I
I
need like a I need I need something in between Rebels 4 season 4 and
yeah
this.
yeah
But
like, and we're definitely gonna find out more details as this
yeah.
show goes on. Like they're definitely building up to all of it here.
Yeah.
But
Season so
yeah,
episode 2. What happened? Is that where they went to a different planet? Her
yeah,
and
that was
Hera?
when
Ahsoka
Hera and
Hera?
Chopper, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
They found that
which that was a cool scene, kind of. I'm not a fan of Ahsoka's cloak. It's I don't know what to say, but like
that is such a Star
it's
Wars fan the thing to say, Brennan.
it's just like a gray burlap sack, and I feel like it just I I don't know what made me think of that as we were talking here, but it kind of just like washes out every scene. Like I was thinking, it was so gray, like so much of like when they were on that planet, it was all just gray,
Yeah.
and it's like that was also just jumping not to episode 4 again, but to the end of episode 2 when
Okay.
Ahsoka and Sabine are on good terms, and Ahsoka shows up, and it's the scene from the epilogue of
Rebels. Yeah.
Rebels. It's exactly that. But Ahsoka, instead of being holding this giant staff for no reason, being in that like white cloak or whatever, she's just in a gray burlap sack. And I'm like, why was that changed? Like, I get that you can't take everything in animation and put it in like live action here, but there's definitely some reason why she was initially animated in this, very kind of
White cloak. The
yeah,
dark
like
white
ornate
cloak. Yeah.
whatever. Why would you put her in like a burlap sack for the actual show? Like, what was the thought process there? Um,
Budget cuts.
yeah,
This is Iger's fault. They couldn't afford to spend the extra $500.
couldn't afford the
They
white
had to
cloak.
pretend to give someone money. They had to
Yeah.
pretend to give the visual effects workers money so that they could go buy food.
Um,
So
yeah.
they just
Of
traded out the
course, of
epic white
course.
cloak for the burlap sack.
But
That's a
anyway,
sad joke, but it's probably not what it's probably not close to wrong.
yeah. On the planet though, it was cool kind of seeing how the Empire is still like
Yep.
ingrained, like exactly what we were kind of shown in like the Mandalorian, even though I don't think the Mandalorian showed it that well,
No, it's like we
unfortunately,
were
not as well
shown in
as I was hoping.
Andor. Wait, Andor takes place during the Yeah.
Yeah, and Andor takes place
Sorry, no, you're
prior.
right. It just
Yeah,
felt like Andor. You're right. It was
yeah.
Mandalorian season
Like
3.
it had
What
a
was
lot of
Mandalorian season
potential.
3?
It was just a collection of episodes loosely stitched together. That
It was
was
Star
honestly
Wars.
it.
It
Yeah.
was Star Wars.
Yeah, Mandalorian season 3 was truly just Star Wars the show. That's all it was. Um, but yeah, it was cool to see more of that. They are echoing that. They are building up to something here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we got to see some chopper action. Uh, Hera
Well,
was there.
this did explain why we never saw Sabine in Mandalorian. Because I was
Because
thinking they were
she's
going to show her. This was a
yeah.
me thing, not an everyone else. I was like, oh,
I was
maybe
kind
they go
of
back to
hoping.
Mandalore. Maybe we'll see. No, now we know why.
Yeah, she's
She
just
wants
kind of like
nothing to do with it.
yeah. Yep.
She wants everything to do with sitting in her room on Lothal.
Yep.
But
But because they are bringing everything together here,
we
I'm
probably
thinking
will.
for the movie that they ended with, we'll get some Din Djarin eating Sabine Wren content.
Yeah. Oh my God, Chopper and Baby Yoda. I mean Grogu.
Yes,
Oh my, our favorite
that's
murderous duo.
that's gonna be crazy.
They're gonna kill so many people.
That's gonna be crazy.
Anyway,
But yeah, it was a
episode.
fine episode. There so far. There has not been an episode that I have disliked.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Episode 3.
my biggest complaint
Go ahead.
is it felt like episode 3 ended way too soon.
Oh, I
It
completely both episode 3 and 4.
it kind
They
of
were
felt
too
like
short.
it kind of felt like because like the first episode was like an hour long, and episodes 3 and 4 like a half hour each. It kind of felt like just put episodes 3 and 4
Together.
together
Yeah.
because it felt like episode 3 was like kind of act 1, act 2, and episode 4 was act 3. It's like just one episode. That's it.
Yeah, but then we'd only get 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So
And we'd have like a really long episode in the middle for like no reason.
yeah.
But yeah, like yeah, it was good. Liked it a lot. It's cool to see a hyperspace ring again, like a huge
Yeah.
hyperspace ring.
Yeah.
That's kind of baller because they were like added into the prequel trilogy and
For
like
literally no reason.
never really talked about again after that.
Yeah, they were just there, and then now they're not.
Yeah, which that the idea of hyperspace rings always kind of like bugged me because it's like, oh, small ships on their own hyperspace. So when you like hyperspace drives, when you have to make those jumps, you have to have a ring.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just like once you jump, you like detach from the ring, you fly down to the planet, then you go back up, get in the ring, you can go back home. What if your ring is destroyed after
You can't go home.
you jump?
You can't go
I just
home.
feel like
Well,
that's like never addressed. It's like
but
you're kind of just
then-
stranded.
but then X-wings can go into hyperspace, so it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's like so that technology just became readily available for all of the rebels after the Empire took over.
Right?
Like the Jedi Order didn't have it, but then when the rebels were trying to fight back against the Empire, all their X-wings have hyperdrives.
Well, but then that was one of the big things. I think Thrawn was trying to develop it in Rebels. The TIE fighters don't have hyperspace drives.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah. So,
but I
whatever.
think the TIE, what were they called?
Purgils. I forgot. We saw live action.
That's
Purgils.
episode 4. Oh no, that was episode 3. You're right.
Yeah, that was episode 3. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we did see Purgils. For the entire duration of that scene, I was like, what the hell are these things called?
Which, because remember, I had called that back when Mandalorian 3 was airing, and I think in like the first episode, you saw like
Purgils,
the silhouettes of them while they're jumping through hyperspace, and I was like, this was an animation test or something like that, or a leftover asset that they thought they could put in here, and they were absolutely right. It worked beautifully, and then we got live action Purgils, which was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't remember what we were talking about before. I just remembered that, and I just had to like immediately say that.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't remember either. I have a worse memory than goldfish. So,
but yeah, it's just fantastic episodes. It was cool to see a planet that wasn't just a great background for the most part.
Yes.
Seeing Lothal, I know this back at episode 1. Seeing Lothal in live action was really
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it was really neat. There were so many like. Especially in like Ezra's old room that Sabine is kind of living in now. So many references there. Holy cow. Mm-hmm. All of the helmets you could see is like helmet collection piled up in the back.
Yep.
Oh, it was
great.
It was so satisfying for a Rebels fan. Sabine solving the map. We're jumping way back now. What am I doing? I don't know. it was
That's okay.
just
We didn't talk about it then. This is way less chaotic than what we used to do. So
yeah. And even when Ahsoka like found the map and you see like all like the Night Sister stuff or whatever, that it's just so cool. We have a Night Sister. We have a live action Night Sister now, or
yeah, it's the first
a,
time I think.
yeah. Like I don't know if
We
she's
never got
formally
any of them from Clone Wars, and
a
then
Night Sister or not.
the one in the video game we've never gotten in live action. So
So yeah, just some really neat stuff. And then also, so my one thing with Rebels is I want them because we got uh Kanan and Hera's
that's
son,
right. We did
Jason.
Jason.
And
Jason is
yeah,
in the show. Yeah,
Kanan is my favorite character. And I just want someone to acknowledge he exists in the show because they
yep.
seem to just like they're not like really making any mention of him directly.
Well, you have
We
to remember it's like what? It's like 20 years later.
it's no, it's we're like 10 years at most.
No, I think this takes place 15 years after. I thought I saw somewhere
Takes
this takes
place
10
15?
to 15 years after the Battle of Yavin.
Really? Hold.
Because it takes place after Mando season 2, right? Mando season 1 takes place 9 years after. So maybe it's only 10, but either way, it's 15 to 20 years later.
Ahsoka show.
I looked this up yesterday, so the reason I know.
Um
It's at least 10.
uh the Ahsoka series takes place in Star Wars timeline around 9 to 12 years after episode 4.
Yeah,
So
so the Battle
yeah.
of Yavin. Yeah.
Yeah, so this only takes place like 10 years, yeah.
Yes. So, okay. So yeah, 9 years. It's because it takes place after Mandalorian. Mandalorian's 9 years after,
Yeah.
and Rebels was 5 years before Battle of Yavin. So it's at least it's like
Well,
13,
no,
14 years.
no.
Yeah,
That's no like Rebels started
that's
five
what I.
years
Yeah, I'm
before,
sorry. Yeah,
right?
that's what I
But
meant.
then yeah. So like at the very end, it's like 1 year
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Either way,
before. Yeah.
it's been a while, at
Yeah, but
least.
but still, Kane was like such like a
Yeah,
huge
part of I
presence
get that.
there. This would mean that Ezra's 10 years older. Holy cow. Okay, that's
Yes,
crazy. But I
if
just want there to
we
be
get him at some point.
some reference to Kane. I mean, he was a Jedi in the very least. You
Yeah,
think
that's
you're
true.
going to talk about one of the only Jedi in existence from around this time period here, but like he was like the dad,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, still no direct reference to him, but I don't know if like you've seen this or not here, but uh like in the ghost, because again, last episode we saw the ghost
That's
live
right. We
action
saw
for
the
the first
ghosts.
time.
Yeah.
Those super baller when Hera goes in like the cock that's
Yeah.
on the little
There's a
control
picture.
panel
Yep.
thing. There's a picture of Kanan,
Yep.
and I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
so stoked for that,
I
but
wonder if because you know how the antagonist mentioned to Ahsoka about Anakin. I
yeah.
wonder if he mentioned to Kanan to Hera when they meet.
Oh, see, I like that's all I want is someone to say his name one time. That is all I need to be satisfied.
What's his name?
Just say his
First,
name.
Caleb
Uh,
Dune.
Caleb Doom.
Yeah, Caleb Dune. He'll probably say that first, and then say, "Oh no, you knew him as Kanan Jarrus."
Yeah, Kanan Jarrus, Jedi Knight.
Um, but yeah.
Oh.
So episode 4 was a doozy.
Yeah, ooh, really cool in my opinion. Might
Stuff
be
took
my
place
favorite
before it, but the most
so
important
far.
part took place at the end. And I
Yeah.
literally screamed at my TV, "No, you cannot do this to me. No."
Uh, there could be a couple things you're talking about. So,
That's true.
which
Yes.
part specifically?
Well, the Anakin part.
Yes. Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
First, there was some fighting.
Yeah. Okay. Those lightsaber battles, actually, I really
I enjoyed them.
like those. Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
they were really cool.
You can
Although,
really feel the anger of the Padawan.
yeah.
Like she was an angry person.
Also, can we talk about how like the robot whose name I can't remember? Oh,
Me neither, but I love him. He's got real C3PO vibes.
Fu Yang or
Yeah,
something
something like that.
like that. when
He's
Ahsoka and
hilarious.
Sabine, yeah, when they're oh yeah, he's so far fantastic character. But when Ahsoka and Sabine were heading off, the robot was like, "Don't split up," and they were like, "Okay, we won't split up." And then first chance they get, they immediately split up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
uh,
I really enjoy that character. And I like
yeah,
how he was
yeah,
like, I can't remember at the beginning of episode. I think it was beginning of episode 3. He was like, she's the worst candidate to be a Jedi ever.
yeah, yeah,
He's like, what? I'm just telling you the truth.
yeah. Like he's great. Whereas he has that same kind of dry sense of humor, almost that like a lot of the other robot characters have. But like
Yeah,
his performance is still so unique, even amongst all of those. It's
like
like it's
yeah,
just
like the one from Solo. Almost kind of in the
it's
same vein.
perfect. Yeah, yeah.
Which K2SO, I think it was.
I no, or was that the one from Andor that you're thinking of?
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
No, no, sorry, not Andor. I mean Rogue One.
That's what I mean. Yeah, Rogue One. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Because like I
okay.
was thinking of Andor when I said it. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
K2S. Yeah, it's that one. K2SO. She's
okay.
pretty funny, right?
I
Yeah,
think
because the
so.
one from Solo died early because she was
I
the
actually
mining droid, right?
I don't remember the one from Solo. I I
That's
just
okay.
know there was one from Rogue One that was had like
There
a
was one in
very
both, but
dry sense of
that's who I'm
humor
thinking of though.
as
Yeah,
well.
that
Okay,
one.
okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
kind of in the same
Um,
sense, kind of in the same way. They're similar, but I don't know why this one reminds me of 3C3PO as well, a little bit.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Um, but yeah, anyway, some great battles. I love the one with Ahsoka and Balin specifically.
Yep.
That was great. Uh, Coming up to space for a second here. Uh, when Hera came in with Phoenix Squadron,
Yep.
we had the guy from The Mandalorian almost kind of just randomly in the Phoenix Squadron.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was kind of just there, and I was like, "Oh, that's the Mandalorian guy." And then I was like, "Wait, are we gonna get Zeb as well? Because in the Mandalorian, didn't they say
Oh
Zeb and him
yeah.
were
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
partners? But then
Never.
Zeb
Yeah.
just isn't there.
Nope.
So
Nope. Nah, well,
yeah,
can't do too many cameos.
no. But
But
I mean,
so
it's funny being like Zeb's, or it's like Rebels season 5, and then Zeb is a character in the live action universe, but just isn't in
in this
Rebels
one,
season 5.
yeah, I think
It's
he's the only one,
whatever.
right? Because we've seen everyone else, obviously except Kanan, but
Yeah,
huh?
for the most part. And also, can we
Yeah.
talk again? I believe I mentioned it when we were talking about the Mandalorian season 3, but how weird is it that Rebels ended with Zeb being like in a nice, peaceful, secluded life in retirement on his homeworld, and then in Mandalorian
New
season
homeworld
three,
too.
yeah, yeah, new homeworld exactly, and then Mandalorian season 3 comes out, and it's like, oh yeah, Zeb, he's a cop now, and it's like, where did that come from? Where that wasn't built up to whatsoever. Zeb was just kind of just there, and it's like, okay,
Mhm.
but yeah,
So then that brings us to the first part where I was like, oh God, no, please don't do this to me. I think Ahsoka's dead.
yeah. So it just is just like tossed off of the
Like a cliff.
cliffside.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, she can't be dead because the show is called Ahsoka and there's 4 episodes left. But she just doesn't climb back up. So it's like, okay.
And then Sabine gives herself over
Yeah,
to the
so Sabine
guy.
is there. Sabine is about to destroy the map, or is like using it as leverage, being like, "I will shoot this map here,"
Which
and
hold
the
on,
guy's
like
like,
before we get
"Yeah,
to that, that is such like if you take that if you take a screenshot of that out of context, this is the stupidest freaking thing. Look, I'm gonna shoot this little ball right here.
yeah,
I
right."
was like, this looks so dumb.
Mhm.
Like they should have kept it on the pedestal. Like, I'm gonna shoot it.
I mean,
It would have looked less stupid.
if it works, it works. Well, I
She's
mean,
just like,
to be
I'm shooting.
fair, to be fair, it was not on the pedestal when
Oh,
when
that's fair.
Sabine
That's
went to
fair.
grab it, and also she kind of wanted it for herself because it
Also, why
has the
didn't she
map
get
to
burned by it when
Ezra.
Ahsoka did?
I think she needs some time to cool
Cool
off.
off, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to
That's some
remember,
pretty cold air then.
even though it was like a magic flame, it was still like on fire, which I forgot about until it burned Ahsoka's hand.
Still
Um,
though.
but like then it falls into the snow, and I'm guessing the snow kind of cools it off.
Oh, there
It
was
doesn't
snow. I didn't
melt.
realize there was
Oh
snow.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there was some snow or whatever. The snow, it doesn't melt, but it apparently cools it off. So,
It's
what a
just
lot of
Star Wars. Logic's thrown out the window.
what a lot of people are speculating, and I don't know how this would make any kind of sense at all, but they're speculating that the orb is now burned into Ahsoka's hand, like in Home Alone with
Oh
the
my god, she's gonna
doorknob
be
or
able to
whatever.
read the map.
Yeah, but also the map was
No,
on
that's
the
so dumb.
outside. The map was on the inside. It was like the light thing
Oh yeah,
that they unlocked. So I don't know why that's the speculation going on right now, but I just wanted to share that.
interesting.
But yeah, so then Sabine's like, I'm gonna blow up the map, and the guy's like, Hey, I'll take you to Ezra here. That's what you want. I'm a man of my word here. I'm not like super evil. I'm just doing what I think has to be done for reasons that will be explained later, I'm hoping. Because he makes some good points,
He
but
does. He does, and I can see why Sabine did what she did because she really loves Ezra.
yeah, yeah. So
Or she, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
I'm I'm chill with how it all
yeah.
played out. Of course, like I
It
mean,
made sense.
she knocked the Padawan like unconscious before all of this. So the Padawan wakes up and is like choking her, and the guy's like, "No, I'm a man of my word, so like don't kill her."
That surprised me, but I didn't think he was going to tell her to stop. And then he did.
I
I was like, okay, maybe you're not so bad.
thought he was because unlike what we'd seen of him so far, I was like, oh, someone is going to try to kill Sabine at some point, and that guy
Gonna
is gonna
stop.
like is gonna step in. I didn't expect it to happen immediately, but like I
Or
was
with his
like, oh
own
yeah, this is
Padawan.
yeah, right.
Or
Which
apprentice.
makes sense because like he kind of grew up with Jedi training,
Yep.
and she's growing up with more of like Sith kind of training.
Yeah, they're
So
definitely interesting characters because you don't like
yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
like you can tell like obviously very influenced by the dark side, but at the same time, got some they
Yeah.
clearly at one point had some like light side tendencies as well. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're very intriguing characters. Probably I think my favorite antagonist in a live action show so far. And I love Moff Gideon, don't get me
Absolutely.
wrong, but these guys
No,
kept
yeah.
being, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly because Moff Gideon was
Absolutely.
annoying in season 3. Kind of killed
Um,
the character.
but
The
yes, so then they
second
take
time. Yep.
Sabine, like put the map back down, the coordinates finish transmitting, and this whole thing, like once they're up there, it like jets off, and like the ghost is like knocked out.
Yeah, they caught it in the ring somehow.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah, like only two ships explode, I think.
yes, only 2 ships. Yeah,
But yeah, so then that happens. So we have that arc, which is gonna kind of be resumed next episode. I'm assuming here with where they are,
yep.
and the other arc is we find out where Ahsoka is. She didn't just fall off to her death or to some water or whatever here. She has somehow been pulled into the world between worlds.
Yes. And I mean I've already said who's there. I said it a little bit earlier, but
Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin Skywalker's there. He says, I didn't think I'd see you this early, Snips. And then she turns around and he's there. I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm like
Yeah.
ready for a really deep conversation. And then the episode fucking ends. I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
Which I knew it
no,
would
no, no,
as
no, no,
soon
no,
as
no,
that
no, 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 no.
happened. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I cannot wait a week for this. No.
Yeah, it's wild. And you can tell that they are cooking up something big with this next episode
Yeah.
here
I
because
hope it's long.
I don't know if you saw the news about episode 5. And yet
I did
it
not.
is long. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be just like it's supposed to be almost exactly the same runtime as the first episode.
Okay.
But the news about it, this was confirmed, I think, yesterday here,
Okay.
is episode 5 is getting a very limited, but still there,
Yeah.
theatrical premiere. Yeah, in 10 cities, it is coming to theaters.
What cities? I need to move to one.
It's It's like
Hold
the
on, I'm
big
looking.
ones. It's like New York, Washington D.C., Orlando, Florida, Boston, Massachusetts,
All right, all
somewhere
right, all right.
in California.
Chill on calling Orlando, Florida, a major
Okay,
city.
okay, but like D- Disney World, so like it's a big city to to Disney. It's a big world
Yeah,
to
I guess so.
Disney there.
Okay, here it is. Here's the list.
Chicago's on the list, I'm
Boston,
pretty sure.
Chicago, Dallas, LA, New York, Orlando, Philly, San Francisco, Seattle, Washington, and
Yep.
Washington D.C. Damn it, I'm not near any of these.
Yeah, same. I was like, oh, I should go because like most of them are
Are
like
these on Saturday?
no,
No, they're on a Tuesday.
yeah,
Damn
yeah,
it.
they're on Tuesdays. So the episodes premiere at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, and the
8 o'clock.
showtimes are for 8. No, I'm
Oh,
saying
I
like
see, I
yeah,
see, I see.
yeah, the movie showtimes, like the theater showtimes are for 8 because the actual wide premiere is at 9.
I half want to fly to the time zone behind us so that I have an extra hour. Well, I wouldn't have an extra hour actually. Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, like so like for like a middle of the season episode to have a theatrical release, they're planning something like something major is going down next episode here.
Wish I had the days off. I'd take Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off, and I'd go to one of these places and try to see it.
Yeah.
Try to see it.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, I'd just sit outside the theater with my iPad. Wait
Oh
till
man.
8 o'clock. But that's wild.
Yeah.
Dude, what is gonna happen in these episodes? All right,
I have no idea.
I have not been watching these at 9 o'clock on Tuesdays. I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
watch this one at 9 o'clock on Tuesday.
Yeah, like
I have to.
that because there are some episodes where like, it's on a cliffhanger
Oh
and you think they're
shit,
gonna
I might
dive
not
into
be able
something
to.
immediately, and then it's like it's kind of just like a filler episode, so it gets pushed. You don't focus on what you think you're gonna focus on. But
Mhm.
here with this, oh, something is happening next
Holy
episode
shit.
specifically. There are a lot of rumors. I don't want to get into any of those.
No, don't.
Stop
Yeah.
eating plastic bags. That's fine. Uh but yeah, I'm just like Ahsoka, I didn't know how it was gonna end up being, especially with how Mando's season 3 was, but so far
It's
it's
pretty good.
it's competing with Andor, honestly, for top
It
Star Wars
is.
show. I still think Andor like takes the cake for me here, but
See,
Ahsoka is putting in work.
the thing with Andor is that, like, and I mean, I criticized this for me when we watched it because I didn't like it all that much,
Mhm.
but it is one of the best shows that they've made. I think that comes out on top because I think it's enjoyable for anyone, even if they don't like Star Wars. It's just a good
Exactly.
show slash good sci-fi show, not
Yeah.
just a good Star Wars show.
Yeah.
Whereas this one has just been a really good Star Wars show, and I think it's gotten better every.
It's been a phenomenal Star Wars show.
Yeah, yeah, it's been really really good. And like I said, it's getting better every episode.
Yeah.
The deeper we get into this, and now I'm even more psyched for Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, um, I think that's all I wanted to say on this.
Yeah, same
Did
here. I don't know if
we
I have.
quickly? Because you've seen Blue Beetle,
Yes.
I've seen Haunted Man. Have you seen Haunted Mansion?
No.
So we can quickly go through what we thought of those, like maybe
Oh,
like
okay.
2 minutes each.
Yeah, Blue Beetle I liked a lot here. It is definitely not my uh like it's definitely not one of my favorite superhero movies, but it's definitely my favorite DC movie since I think
Okay.
the the Batman. That was I think
Yeah.
the last DC movie that like I really really enjoyed here. This
You said
is
that was
like
like you said that like it was a
my
long time
favorite.
ago. I'm pretty sure that came out last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Like there was that one. That one was kind of recent, but like we
I
got
forgot.
like
We've gotten a couple since then. They were all pretty bad, weren't they?
yeah,
The
we got the
Flash,
Flash. That was really bad. We got
Shazam,
Black Adam. That
and
was
Shazam 2.
all right, and we got Shazam too. That was
It was
but like
movie.
But Blue Beetle felt like the first one in a while that actually had a heart
Oh, good.
and really cared about its characters.
Cool.
Really solid watch.
Of course,
Uh,
it's one of the last ones that's coming.
James Gunn, yeah, like James Gunn has said, like the events of this movie aren't directly canon with like his universe, but he wants to keep these characters in
Oh, good.
the new DCU, uh, Blue Beetle especially. So
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to that
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
like yeah, like the actor who portrayed him, fantastic job.
Good.
The Beetle itself, not my favorite because I'm very partial to like the Young Justice
Right.
TV show interpretation of him. But the movie was still like a great watch.
Uh-huh.
Just a good movie with a lot of clever references. So
Cool.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, good movie, good
Um,
movie. And also, speaking of that, just while we're talking about DC very quickly, the only remaining movie we have left before it's like James Gunn territory,
Aquaman, right?
exclusively, yeah, is Aquaman 2, which
Mhm.
releases in 3 months. That's still the official date, and we still
Already?
haven't gotten any trailers
I
or
don't know
any
anything
kind of
about that movie.
information for it
I thought we were a
at
long
all.
way off from
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no. Which like you think like I was thinking like oh 3 months. It's like maybe we'll receive a trailer, maybe we won't. But like most superhero movies receive a trailer well before 3 months. Here seems to be like
Well, if you're craving, it's a
the
year.
the pattern. Yeah, yeah, or at least some kind of teaser
Or
trailer or something here. But yeah,
Craven
there
and
hasn't been anything.
Black Widow. Both of them had
Yeah.
trailers really, 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 really early.
Yep.
But okay.
So yeah,
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion time. What did you think? The
I
trailer for it looked good, but then I heard
mixed
mixed
reviews.
reviews after. Like I didn't have time to see it immediately, and
Yeah,
then I just didn't
fair.
end up going to see it.
Completely fair. Um, so here's the thing. Critics obviously did not like it. Some fans did not like it. Other fans did like it. I fucking loved every second of it.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
sweet.
It takes a lot for me to want to go to a movie theater,
Oh
which
yeah.
I don't do often, like almost never. Um, but I think I saw this opening weekend
Oh
because I was really excited about it. Haunted Mansion's like one of my favorite rides at Disney, and like you said, the trailer looked really good. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll go see it. And I went and I saw it, and then I went and had lunch, and then my mom called, my brother called, because they also love the Haunted Mansion ride, and they're just like, so, and I was like, I loved it. And they're like, oh, good, we did too. So it seems like people who are fans of the ride really liked it.
Oh, okay,
Because I know,
sweet.
because the same thing. There's a YouTuber I follow. He's like a Disney, like he posts about Disney parks and stuff like that. His favorite ride is Haunted Mansion. He said he loved it. It's so if it's way better than the first one, but that's a really low
Yeah,
bar. It's not connected to it in any way, but I think the actors did a really good job in this movie. Lakeith
sweet.
Stanfield was really, really good. Um, Jared Leto was there again, like he always is. Um, yeah, it was really good. A lot of Easter eggs. So like if you've never seen the like if you've never like ridden the ride, you're not gonna really understand a lot of the Easter eggs. But if you have and you know the script by heart like I do, then you'll really enjoy it. I really really like the movie.
Sweet.
So
Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
it's a good
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, and that is one that I was planning on checking out on Disney Plus whenever it arrives there, because I'm assuming it's coming to Disney Plus, and it sounds like
Yeah.
based on your review, I still will.
Okay. Yeah, I liked it. So yeah, I don't
All
think
right,
I've seen anything else. Just Futurama. That's new.
oh,
It's been
okay,
good.
cool.
Yeah. So, all right.
Well,
If that's it, don't
that's
forget
all from me.
to uh like and subscribe wherever you're
Like,
listening.
subscribe, comment,
Comments,
share,
also, yeah,
post,
share if you want to.
retweet,
Don't re-X.
live. I'm out of
Subscribe to
things.
subscribe to Brennan on YouTube
Yeah.
at Not Brennan. Actually, he's not today, but his YouTube channel's Not Brennan.
Oh, I am still not.
Subscribe to me at Wolfgator Entertainment,
Mhm.
and go follow our Instagram page, which I am no longer logged into. But
And
I promise you,
I will have something coming out on YouTube eventually, maybe. I have
maybe.
stuff in the works. It's just I've been busy for the past 2 years. Okay,
Yeah, me
don't
too. I completely
don't
get
hold it
that.
against me.
Okay. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. We may or may not be back this month. We may or may not be back next month. We don't
We
know,
won't.
quite
That's
frankly.
okay.
Uh,
We'll update
we
you with how
will at the
Ahsoka
very least
ends
be
in like
back.
3 months.
Yeah, we'll be back at least before Loki.
We'll be back before the year ends. That's
Oh no,
all
we
I'm
won't be back.
promising.
Are we gonna get Loki and Ahsoka at the same time?
No. It's literally Ahsoka ends on Wednesday of one week, and Loki premieres on the Friday of that same week. So Ahsoka will end, and then 2 days later,
So
we'll
that
have the first
Thursday,
episode of Loki.
between, we will have an episode. I don't know if we're actually gonna do it, but I'm gonna try to hold us to it. So
We will see.
all right, peace out, everyone.
Peace.